guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlene. For those of you who are stopping by for the very first time, and for those of you who've been with me for a while, thank you so much for coming back. I also want to welcome my new subscribers. I've gotten quite a few recently, and I just want to say a big thank you to those of you who have decided to press the subscribe button and become part of the Savvy family. So today I am doing my very first perfume tag video. So from the title, you probably are thinking, what is she talking about? I was tagged by the beautiful Ruth from Ruth's Gifted Hands here on YouTube. We connected on Instagram and we have been talking ever since. Just to give you guys a little background on the tag video, Ruth decided to choose fragrances from her collection that are very strong, that are powerful, and in her words, she said it has the capability to offend. So the word RuthLess in itself has negative connotations. We know that. One of the most beautiful things that she said was that you can take something negative and turn it into a positive. I love that. I think that is so beautiful. And so if you are confident enough to wear these fragrances, rock it even when you know that it might not be everyone's cup of tea. That is what makes these fragrances RuthLess. So again, the RuthLess Challenge Reloaded, because this is the second installment. And I am super happy again to be part of it. And again, I want to thank Ruth for tagging me and making me be part of this wonderful challenge. I was able to pick a few in my collection that I felt are powerful fragrances that last super long, that definitely make an impression. It might not always be good, but I personally, whenever I spritz it on my body, I spritz it on my clothing, I know I'm gonna rock it for that day and I'm gonna be confident doing it, whether or not it is appreciated by the masses. So the very first one on my list is my Burberry. I featured this perfume a while ago and I basically described it as a love-hate relationship. It has a lot of the notes that I enjoy, but yet still, it also has a uniqueness about it that maybe not everyone would appreciate. However, I kind of go back and forth with this one. You guys already know the packaging for me is a yes. I would describe this as different. To me, this is like, I would describe this as being clean and fresh, but at the same time, still very strong. That is why I felt like it would be a perfect addition to the RuthLess tag because, so for me, on first spray, I do not like it. I'm not in love. But once it dries down, I appreciate it more. And I think that's why I keep this one in my collection because I do, like I said, appreciate some of the notes in this one. So I would say that this one is not for everyone. I would say that it's not a safe blind buy. To me, the patchouli in this one, as much as I am a lover of patchouli, and I appreciate the patchouli in this one because it's a very different type of patchouli. It is patchouli heavy, and for those of you who are sensitive to that scent, be warned that it is patchouli heavy. I have to take a minute for me to really appreciate this one settling down. I think one of the mistakes that people make the most is just like spraying a perfume just from the initial spray and making the final decision about it. Sometimes you do have to let it settle on the skin and kind of just like work with your body's chemistry. So I think my Burberry is definitely one of the fragrances in my collection that is RuthLess because she is different. So the reason I think this one continues to be like part of my love-hate relationship as far as fragrances go, all the other accords in this fragrance I'm okay with, but I think that the leather note on this one is what I am not quite used to. Yeah, so again, this is my Burberry by Burberry. The next one may or may not come as a surprise to you guys, but I have raved about this. I always say I'm obsessed with it. It has patchouli, of course. I love patchouli. I cannot help it. The next fragrance on my list, she comes strong. She comes heavy. She doesn't care at all. But it's such a beautiful gourmand scent at the same time that it's a very unique fragrance. You either love this fragrance or you hate it. And there's kind of like no middle ground for this one. I personally love it. I literally cannot get enough of this one. And in my opinion, it makes a perfect addition to these RuthLess fragrances. Whenever you kind of like get the first whiff of this fragrance, you just might love it or you might hate it. I'm talking about Angel Muse by Mucullar. This fragrance is RuthLess. Why? Because you should never go too heavy on this one, although I am guilty. I'm very guilty. I think because I like it so much, I tend to go sometimes a little overboard. Even if you have citrusy notes of grapefruit and you have pink pepper, you also have patchouli and vetiver. In the heart of this fragrance, you have the beautiful hazelnut spread, which makes it edible and qualify under the gourmand umbrella. To me, this has so many pluses, and I just had to add it to this list. It's very intoxicating. It smells amazing, in my opinion. It lasts uber long, like super duper long. I just love how the notes split together personally. Yeah, it checks all those boxes that you kind of typically look for in a fragrance. You know, it's present with the projection and sillage. The longevity is definitely there. The dry down is so beautiful that I cannot get enough of it. If you guys have seen any of my previous videos, you know that this for me was a love at first sniff, and I love this so much. So yeah, when it comes to oud, I will say that I am not an oud expert. I am quite the beginner, basically. So my first impressions of this fragrance was kind of like, I was very unsure, I would say, just because like I just wasn't used to it. I didn't know what to expect, but I did like majority of the notes in the fragrance. So I decided like, okay, let's not jump to conclusions too quickly and let's give this a chance. So after wearing it, of course, I fell in love because it is such a different fragrance. So my next RuthLess fragrance would be Oud Bouquet by Maison Lancome. They were not playing with this one. They came with the oud that will basically win the hearts of non-oud lovers. So for Oud Bouquet, you have a delicious blend of praline, vanilla, 3 different types of wood. And this one is, upon first application, very smoky. So yeah, like I said, what makes this a little RuthLess is the first initial spray might be off-putting for some. But once this dries down, it is such a gorgeous, beautiful fragrance. It lasts an extreme number of hours. Like I've lost count sometimes on how long this really truly lasts. It definitely qualifies as a beast mode fragrance because it will last and you will have it on you forever and a day. I've smelled other fragrances recently that are oud fragrances, and I would say that this one is a more subdued version, a more delicate version of oud, a sweet and delicious version of oud. So yeah, I truly like this. It is beautiful. Packaging is on point. In the month of January, I've used this quite a bit just because it's been cooler, and I feel like it makes the perfect cool weather companion whenever you want to get that warm, cozy feel, that sit by the fireplace type of feel. I would say go for Oud Bouquet. If you guys are trying to get into oud, or you want that oud feel but not a very harsh in your face oud, I fully recommend this. And I think one of the things I appreciate more about Oud Bouquet is that it's not a linear scent, meaning that it definitely changes over time whenever you apply it. So from the first spray to the dry down, you will experience different phases. In my opinion, my favorite part of this is the dry down, which is absolutely delicious. I cannot stop sniffing my skin whenever I wear this. So this is Oud Bouquet by Maison Lancome. The next fragrance on my list, I would classify it as a sister fragrance to Oud Bouquet. So this one is Swiss Arabians Shagaf Oud. I've made a comparison of these 2 fragrances. I've talked about it. I have worn both of them together individually. I have really played around with these 2 perfumes, and I can safely say that this one also qualifies as a RuthLess fragrance. Why? Because it's not your everyday scent. You have to kind of like be into this type of scents to want to wear this one. To me, it is spicy because of the saffron notes you find in there. It is vibrant, but it still has depth to it because you have arga wood and you have the vanilla and the praline, similar to Oud Bouquet. So you're gonna get a fragrance that will have great lasting power, similar to Oud Bouquet. It's not a fragrance you smell every day unless you're just surrounded by a bunch of frag heads. As I mentioned, I would not consider this an everyday scent. I think that this one qualifies as RuthLess because one, it's inexpensive. The longevity, the performance of this fragrance is incredible. This one is classified as unisex, and I agree on every count because I've smelled some unisex fragrances that I don't think are truly unisex, and this one would qualify as unisex. I can smell this on a guy, I could see a guy rocking this, and I could definitely see a woman rocking this. So yes, so you have all the factors, y'all, to make it Ruthless, and I rock it with confidence, and I truly enjoy this. I think between the two, I'm gonna have both fragrances for a while. And I am not mad at that. So this one is the final one on my list. And again, this is Shagaf Oud by Swiss Arabian. So this is it for the Ruthless Challenge Reloaded. I hope you guys enjoyed my fragrances. I want to thank Ruth again for tagging me in this challenge. And I will put all her information down below so you guys can also check out her new video and the previous one. And if you decide to go over to her channel, make sure that you mention that I sent you. That is it. Thank you as always for watching. I hope that you like the video. Let me know what you think below, and which fragrances do you consider Ruthless? Which ones are powerful, unapologetic in your collection that you would categorize as a Ruthless fragrance? So don't forget to sound off below, and of course, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.